This is Jim Emter, Van Ahn & Company, Alexandria, Minnesota, with their closing grain and livestock comments for November 16th, 2015. Corn market today up about 1.5 cents, chopped much of the day back and forth, but finished a little bit firmer off of a very surprising 1.44 million metric ton private sale today. The bean market, a little bit weaker tone, choppy, slightly lower for much of the day. We settled about 1 3/4 lower on the day and continue to kind of chop in a range here as we deal with better weather conditions than anticipated here as we come into the weekend and out of the weekend. We're looking at better precipitation 1 to 2 weeks out here for Brazil and the central parts as well. And then we're also looking at a circumstance here in the U.S. where we've got some wet moisture as well here for the next 2 weeks. And then we cool off a little bit, into that 2-week pattern as well. So really kind of a negative overall in the bean complex in that, the weather is the main story right now, or the main driver for the bull. And with a lack of stories here, both in the U.S. and in South America, Brazil specifically, it's just not painting a real rosy picture. Doesn't mean we need to fall off much. We just lack the ability to rally right now. Looking at the wheat market, up anywhere from 1 to 4 cents, with Kansas City leading the charge here this morning due to a little too wet of weather and a little bit of concerns over that. But all in all, kind of a choppy tone for the grain markets here. Not a lot going on. We'll continue to kind of be stuck in this pattern here for the next month and a half as we really lack any new news to get us going one way or the other. Looking at the meats today, there we had some market movement. Feeder cattle, $4.50 lower, limit down. Live cattle, $3 lower, limit down. We got wheat cutouts, we got limited cash trade, and that's going to bring, we feel, a test of anywhere from $3 lower in live cattle to possibly $5 lower in feeder cattle yet. So we still look for the lower trend. We could set some base from there. The hog market kind of fell into the trap today after a nice little correction last week to the top side. We kind of fall back into the rut here. With that late week rally last week, we kind of gave it all back here today, and now we find ourselves at the bottom end of the range once again. The hogs cutout values a little bit weaker right now. Good kills are keeping a little bit of a negative tone. We do think that'll improve about 2 to 3 weeks down the road, but in a lot of these markets we lack any new bull news, and it just looks choppy lower here in the near term. This has been Jim Emter, Van Ahn & Company, Alexandria, Minnesota. Trading in futures and options involves risk of loss and is not suitable for all producers. Past performance is not indicative of future results.